Look, I saw my shot and I took it. I couldn't do it different. Couldn't afford to stop and go. I had to stay consistent. Made up my mind that no matter what
We are about 10 miles or so southwest of downtown Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium in Inglewood. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Chargers. Get strapped in. It's just about time to get the party started. And we are underway in Southern California. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. Gets past one man. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard, 71 yards. And the Cowboys go down the field in just 2 plays to take the early lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. He showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Forced out to his left. And he'll find Everett there, complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Now it's Herbert. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw pulled in by Lamb. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Prescott on first down. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. First down, Prescott.
They'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Up the middle, here's Elliott.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard with his second touchdown in this opening quarter as his guys are able to extend their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognizes
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away.
DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The Charger drive about to get going. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams.
And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15. On 1st and 10, Herbert.
He's got this to Williams, complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Play action. It's Herbert. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Trayvon Diggs.
There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the second quarter.
Marr now to kick this one away. And a mistake, a surprising mistake there in the kicking game as he sends that one out of bounds. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll look to throw. He dumps it to Eckler underneath, and they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Herbert on 1st down now. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Flushed out right. Finding Elliott for the catch on the out route. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake, Prescott. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Prescott. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Prescott to throw on 4th. Rolling to his right. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Charger drive about to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the Cowboys force the turnover. And they'll take over at the 10. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question, because a lot of it depends on the head coach and the people making the decisions. You have to know your quarterback and know if he's mentally tough enough to have a chance to turn it around, or is he a guy that maybe you've seen enough and it's time to go to the backup? But right now what you're rooting for is your defense to help keep you in the game, to give him an opportunity to get back on track.
Back near his goal line, it's Prescott. This is caught by Hilton. And all the way to the 25 before he's hit and dropped. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A 1st down throw for Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. CeeDee Lamb, 64 yards. And the Cowboys are able to widen their lead here in this first half. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flushed from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. From his end zone, here comes Carter. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Charger drive about to get going. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Out of the gun, Herbert. And that's into the hands of Eckler. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Herbert operating from the red zone. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chargers are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead now down to 20. Well, it is still a lopsided score, so they're going to try a second quarter onside kick. And they've got it. They recovered it. They hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here the 4th quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb.
And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Chargers going to get the football first here in this second half, and they trail as we get back underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it.
And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
That one is going to sting. First play of the 3rd quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this 3rd quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott.
They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted.
Derwin James with a pick.
And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Anthony Barr. And the Cowboys are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. They rolled out of the pocket right, and I think he wanted a little something more out of that play, obviously. Instead, he hit a safety valve.
It looked like 2 well-coached teams there, even though there was no yardage gain, because the offensive guys, hey, they realized their quarterback was out of the pocket. All the receivers went to the right spots, tried to get in his sight line, tried to open themselves up.